next one I got is going to be Gladiator 2. And this is a big time action adventure film. Folks have been waiting on this since it got announced. Directed by Ridley Scott of Gladiator fame, Blade Runner, Aliens, a lot of groundbreaking films over the years. And in this film, years after witnessing the death of Maximus at the hands of his uncle, Lucius must enter the Colosseum after the powerful emperors of Rome conquer his home. With rage in his heart and the future of the Empire State, he looks to the past to find the strength and honor needed to return the glory of Rome to its people. And this cast is pretty stacked. We've got Paul Mescal, we've got Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, Connie Nielsen, Fred Heckinger, and Peter Mensa. Those are our main folks in here. And this was wild. I was waiting for this, highly anticipating it. I will say this. I think this is a film where everything is kind of turned up a notch. We've got bigger set pieces, we've got bigger gladiator fights, we've got bigger battles. The stakes are a bit bigger, even though they're kind of similar to the original film. And we've also got Denzel in here, man. So that's a really big get for this film. And it's kind of crazy that he's in this film because, how can I explain this? This is a film, I enjoyed it in the moment, but I don't think it's as good as the original film.
I agree with you.
I think Denzel is so good, though. He's carrying me through a lot of the things that don't work in this film for me, that didn't work in this film for me. I feel like, as I mentioned before, everything else is scaled up so big. I feel like they forgot to scale the story up to match the effort as well,
Yeah, I agree with you. Really enjoyed the film. It is a popcorn film. Nothing, that much historical accuracy in this, because I don't think they ever had sharks like in the arena. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the Colosseum.
I don't think there was that
advanced. Water from, for a shark in there. I hope that wasn't freshwater. The shark wouldn't last that long, but it was a good film. Denzel was Denzel in, and he's a little bit more training day in this than than you would think that somebody from back then would be.
But we don't really have a record, so I thought it was fun to see him having fun because some of the mannerisms he was doing, I was like, would a Roman laugh like that? Would they be kind of carrying on? But who knows? And I thought it was fun that he leaned into that. Like you could tell he's definitely having fun in that role, man. That's one of the things that that comes across in that portrayal for me.
Yeah, he had his robes on and was flexing. That's what I want to say about it. One of the things about it, I liked him in this film, but overall, I don't really think it's like the best of these films. I really like the original a little bit more. Really, way more. I like the original. I think we had a better story we was working with with the original, but I think Denzel Washington pretty much makes this movie. It kind of drags, and and all that. It's just him being him in this film that kind of does it for me. And by the way, and part of this when he meets the guy that's the main character in this, I can't think of
I know what you're talking about, but
Lucius, when he meets Lucius, when he meets him, he has him. He has him in the school and everything. And Denzel Washington uses a phrase, to get the guy clean, hose him down. I'm saying to myself, they didn't have hoses back then. I just wonder how many.
I'm probably the first one to bring that up, but now that I think about it, yeah.
I wonder who else in the theater, or who else has seen this and just think about that. That water was back then,
No. Maybe there was. I don't know, man.
That aqueduct, and that was almost like but they weren't raised to the hoses.
History of hoses.
Yeah,
you find out they go back to the Roman Empire. So for me, I just feel like a lot of the story was just half baked. I felt like at times, I'm rewatching Gladiator being retold. Like so many of Lucius, so many beats of his journey are exactly out of Gladiator, in a way. So that's kind of what was dragging it down for me. It was like I'm kind of groaning and I'm looking at this. All right, for me, the main thing is I don't think it taps into the emotional
Robert Downey.
fabric that Gladiator, the original Gladiator did. Like I'm watching stuff happening, but it's like I'm not really caring about a lot of it. You know, even when heavy impactful moments happen with some of these characters, I'm like, all right, I've seen that coming. Get them out of here. Like, all right, what's next? You know, it's like and this thing is, this film is almost as long, might be slightly longer than the original, but they're about similar. But this one, it feels like a slog at times, bro. It slows down tremendously.
I do agree with that. One of the things about like the original Gladiator, Maximus had been wronged.
Yeah, and very wrong.
Every bit about that. It was a revenge. That was like one of the greatest revenge dramatics that I can think of right now. Because everything that happened with him, everything he was gonna do to that emperor, you know, the emperor had it coming to him. You know, that Caesar had it coming to him.
So the part that get me,
ruined that guy's life. Yeah,
it was Lucius' side. All right, his emotional. I thought it was so weak. I was like, dude, like
he just didn't go back
to
home.
War. People die in war. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. When that happened to him, I'm just like, okay, this is supposed to be his big betrayal, but you know, there's other stuff that happens along, you know, that comes out, especially when we get exposed with you know, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I just thought all of that stuff was flimsy, man. You know, so really, I'm just here, and the biggest thing that I got from this movie was just watching Denzel. If you give me a super cut, I could watch that over and over of just his scenes. But the rest of this, I don't know, man. It's gonna be really hard to pull me back in. I don't think I'm adding this one to the collection. Like I didn't hate my time with it. I think I give it a 3 out of 5 on my letterbox. You know, so which is fair, is good, but this definitely, how this film came out, it feels like the cash grab. You know, it's like
it was
honestly, Maximus's story was folded up nice and neat, and boom, it's just. And honestly, if we're really talking about Gladiator, I don't think Gladiator was best picture material. To be honest, it's a good film. The first Gladiator, I don't think it's a great film, excellently directed. But if you look at what it's a simple. It's like it's a revenge story. You know, this would have been Conan back in the day, dude. Like this is a similar kind of tale, but Ridley Scott elevated it by having this
he elevated
amazing
sword
cast.
and sandal.
Yeah. He took so like.
It has been that big since Spartacus, pretty much.
I was telling Bob when we did we talked about the Gladiator recently. I was like, man, there's a thin line between Gladiator and Scorpion King. Very thin line. There's a thin line, and so Ridley Scott, you know, he benefited like what he was able to achieve and put in there with the poetry he added to that. That's what's lacking, man. I think that's why this film it's doing great, by the way, but I don't think outside of Denzel's performance, there's not going to be much of this that sticks with people a year from now. You know, it's so somehow he didn't manage to tap into that. Interestingly enough, there's a wild interview that I saw a clip of from his cinematographer. It was a guy that he worked with a while ago, and he's saying, and at first I thought this was some clickbait kind of stuff. But it was his real cinematographer. I can't remember the exact films, but he's saying Ridley Scott lately, and I had to look it up. I had to hear it out of his mouth itself, not just, you know, because a lot of these sites now, they're throwing clickbait and stuff, making up shit. So, and he said, the problem with Ridley Scott, he's rushing lately. And I was like, I kind of feel that in his films. And he's saying is, you know, he used to do more deliberate setups with the cameras. Now he's doing multiple cameras and just hoping that he gets enough angles for the coverage instead of being more deliberate about that. And he's saying that he thinks that's, you know, why some of his films recently haven't been having the impact that he had in his previous years. And he, man, Ridley's up there, bro. We was talking about Clint Eastwood last week with The Juror, but Ridley is up there, bro.
I know,
and they've got all these other films on deck. How old is he? Right, 87 years old. They're talking about another Gladiator 3 coming out, like I think he's got 3 or 4 films that he announced recently, and I'm like, is he going to get those out?
I really can't agree. I really don't want to agree with Quentin Tarantino and him just stopping, you know, at 10 films, because I think we could get more out of Tarantino, but some directors, like he was saying, some of their later work can kind of sour them. I think his good cutoff. I think Ridley Scott's cutoff should have been American Gangster. That might be the best of his.
He would have went out.
Last couple films
went out really good.
Yeah, he would have went out. On a high note on that one.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I did like The Last Duel, but I don't think it made money. But like House of Gucci, that was.
I did like The Last Duel. That's probably is going to be his last of the recent, And the thing too that's happening now, we're getting stuff like Napoleon, which could have been great, but
I haven't watched
the extended cut yet. But apparently, that's supposed to be, kind of clean that film up a little bit. But yeah, man, maybe The Martian. I'll throw Last Duel in there.
Good, but that was after. That was before. Was that before American Gangster?
Oh no, that was after. American Gangster was like 2007.
The Martian was a good. I'll take that back. Then The Martian might be his last real good film, and then behind that you probably have The Last Duel. But after that, it's been a decline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did like Prometheus a lot though.
I did, yeah. I like Prometheus also, but
yeah,
it's been. It's been slacking, and then he did that Alien Covenant, which
I can't watch that, bro. I can't watch that again, man.
Yeah, I have so many mixed feelings about that,
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see, man. We'll see if he can get another one out. I hope he drops another banger on us, but we'll see.